This is the 7th video of a Google Ads course that I'm putting together. You can find the playlist below for the other videos of this course. And so far we've built up to the Google Ads build and the account setup portion of this. So this is going to be pretty quick. First we're going to talk about the account settings. First thing I would do with your account settings, or really the only thing, is to turn off auto suggestions for more control over your account. You can find this in the recommendations tab, and clicking the auto apply icon in the top right. It might change in the UI because Google's always changing things around, but you can turn off auto suggestions, in which Google will just update your account as it pleases. This is really bogus that they do this and they kind of hide this info, but do this right away just so you have full control over the account info and what you test. Second is targeting settings. So go to the targeting for whatever campaign you're doing. So let's say this is a search campaign. Go to the networks tab and then turn off alternative networks. So you don't want display or the search partners. They even label search partners as something that you might want on a search campaign, but ultimately these don't necessarily perform that well. And if you're doing a search campaign, you just want to limit it to just search traffic. You can do a display campaign and a retargeting campaign, but for now, turn that off. Then we're going to look at location settings, and this is going to depend on how you want to target for location, but you can do people located in, you can do people located searching for, or located in and searching for. So in most cases, I'm doing located in and searching for, because Google is fairly good with knowing when someone is outside a region and searching for that region. It depends on what your service is, though. Let's say you're a dentist, and a lot of people, when they search for setting an appointment for a dentist, they don't do it necessarily at home. And they might be looking for a dentist near their home, but they might work in a bigger city that's nearby. And so without the in and searching for feature, you're only going to do located in, and you are limited how much volume you're going to get. So I have tested this quite a bit, and it does seem that searching for produces fairly good results. So in general, I do people in and searching for, and then I just do exclusions for like basically every single country that I'm not targeting, as well as state. And I also put in like the acronyms and the state words as negative keywords. So just keep that in mind, that that is an option that you want to consider for your location targeting. Then bid strategies. In the early stages, I would try to start manual if you're just starting to run this campaign, or maximize clicks to begin with if you want to do a little bit more hands-off. With the automated stuff like max clicks, it's going to take a little bit while for it to learn, so it might be slower. With manual, you can just preset your bids on an ad group or keyword basis, and you'll get traffic immediately. And then once you build up a certain amount of clicks, if you want to do hands-off, just switch it to maximize clicks, and now it already has that data to go off of, so it won't really, the learning period will be way less. Then eventually you could switch to maximize clicks enhanced, and the way that you do this is you have to have the Google Power Editor tool, and this is something that's downloaded to your desktop, and you upload or you import all your campaign information into this, and you go to your campaign settings and you go to your bid strategy, and then there's an option where you can also click a box for enhanced. In the standard Google UI, it usually doesn't show you this, so most people won't know that there's a maximize clicks enhanced feature. And this basically just says maximize for as many clicks as possible, but if you notice that something is converting more often than not, then prioritize that instead. So that's a really good one as well. Or you can just do maximize conversions. That's like the next level, where you're focused on just getting as many conversions as possible, or target CPA. So if you're a little bit more volume centric, I would go with maximize conversions. If you are trying to limit how much you spend, go target CPA. So if you're trying to saturate the market and push your competitors out, max conversions. If you are just trying to get a few leads for the month, target CPA. Another way of looking at this too is if you are only at like 10 to like 30% search impression share. This is basically like market share for how many total searches you're getting in front of, then target CPA might be more efficient because your budget isn't really allowing you to get much more than that anyways. So yeah, if your search impression share is really low and you don't intend on increasing budget anytime soon, you might want to go with target CPA instead. And to do this after about 15 to 30 leads, you want to build up lead data with manual max clicks enhanced before jumping to these ones that rely on lead data to optimize around. Because the more data you have, the better it's going to perform and the less time it needs to learn. Then eventually you want to move towards max conversion value and or target return on ad spend. Max conversion value, you can either manually set fixed values based off the leads, or you can automatically pull in payments from customers for customer conversions. And so if someone converts, you can pull in that data as a value into your Google Ads, and now it's going to optimize not just around how many conversions you're getting, but how much revenue it's producing. And then ROAS, return on ad spend, is different. It's going to optimize around the efficiency of how much you're spending versus how much you're making. So once again, it's kind of the similar case between max conversions and target CPA. So if you're struggling on search impression share, do like target ROAS. So yeah. Now you also want to consider ad extensions, and this is pretty simple, but just add in as many different formats of ad extensions that make sense. It's going to help your quality score. It's going to make your ad bigger and get more click-throughs, so your click-through rate is going to be higher. But the ones that you definitely want to add are a call extension, which can produce lots of leads. A location extension, especially if you're local, this is going to allow your ad to show up in the maps region. And then you could also do like lead forms. So this can show a form that's only going to show in some nuanced searches, though they don't show as often. But yeah, having these is a good way to get leads without them even coming to your website. So that's definitely something to have in there. Audiences. So this is something that a lot of people don't know, but before you're up to $50,000 in total spend in your account, what you can do is add in observation audiences. And what that means is you're basically layering on an audience on your search campaign or any other campaign. But for search, you're targeting keyword, but you're also layering an audience on it that's not limiting what it's targeting, but it's just telling you if those people that are clicking your ad fall into this particular audience category. And you can place bid adjustments on those audience categories to say, for the next clicks to this keyword, if they fall into this audience, this in-market or affinity audience, then increase my bid for that person by 20% or decrease it by 20%. So you can do this by going to audiences and then adding in all the suggested audiences or adding in your own, but just add in as many observation audiences that are relevant to your business. And as your search campaigns pull in data, you're going to see what audiences these people are falling under. This is going to help you to place bid adjustments, but you can also use this info for your social advertising as well, because a lot of these audiences are kind of the same on social platforms. And so you'll preemptively just know, well, a lot of people convert in this particular audience. So if I'm going to do a cold campaign on social, I'll start with that audience if I don't have a lead list or a customer match list to go off of. Then demographics, for the most part, I would leave these open if you're unsure about it and just let the data tell you. And then down the road, you just place negative bid adjustments or just eliminate them. In general, a lot of times 18 to 24 is not going to be the best demographic. It can kind of surprise people though. So if there are some industries where it's just obvious this is not going to work, just take it out immediately. Same with male or female. It can be pretty obvious depending on the industry. But err on the side of negative bid adjustments first before pure negation. And that's kind of a trend throughout all of your ad optimizations as well. You kind of want to let the data tell you. You want to dial back what's not working first rather than dial forward what is, and then dial back what's not working until it's not even showing, and then scale the things that are working. Hopefully that makes sense. And then conversion tracking. So you want to have your key goals, write them down somewhere, like what are the different ways that people are going to reach out to you. You don't have to have all these, but the more you have, the more ways that people can contact you, the more conversions you're going to get, the higher conversion rate. So, having a form submit, a call from an ad extension, so that call ad extension we talked about, a click to the website number, or a website number dial. Those are two different things. If they're on mobile, they might just click it and prompt a call, or they have their mobile device on a desktop and they just dial it in their phone. A GMB call requires call tracking software to track this. So CallRail can integrate with GMB and tell you if a call from your Google My Business listing, from your map ad, came from an ad specifically. And also you can do like website chat. So if someone initiates a live chat, they have an integration with Google Ads and you can count that as a lead. You can also do a key goal as a customer, so a new client, and that's an offline conversion. So that's going to be registered in a CRM, or you can put it into a Google Sheet, and you can actually use Google API to just upload this. Not the API, but you can upload your Google Sheet info or your CRM. Most of them work with Google. You can upload any new client and count that as an offline customer conversion. You definitely want that in there, and you can also pull in how much they paid you, if that info is in there too, and then you can start using the target ROAS or maximize conversion value. Now you can also track like micro goals and not count them as goals just for extra info, or you can count them as goals for specific campaigns where you want to just provide more data for the bidding strategy to go off of. So like, who became a web visitor? Okay, so why would you want to have a web visitor as a goal? Because sometimes clicks don't actually lead to a web visitor. It's because people click and then they go somewhere else before even your page loads. Sometimes the page doesn't load fast enough. So if there's a big discrepancy between how many clicks you're getting and how many actual visitors, you might want to make visitors an actual goal. And then specific page views as well as user engagements. These sometimes correlate a little bit with like people's interest and how much they convert. So you can count these as goals, and you can say maximize conversions, and then you count all of these as conversions, the leads, the customer, and even these micro goals, in which case the system is going to get a ton of data on these micro goals and is going to optimize mostly around this first, but you think it's correlated to this stuff, so it might also get that as well or improve that, especially if you have not a lot of data, not a lot of leads that come in per month. You might enhance how much data you're sending in by giving micro goals that correlate to conversions. Goal values, once again, this is arbitrary or real values can be placed on goals to better weight the goals and allow Google's maximize conversion value or target ROAS bidding strategies better optimize. So they can be pulled in from CRM, or you can do the math on your LTV and kind of work backwards towards like how much would a lead be worth to you. Then attribution models, stick with the data-driven if you're unsure about this. They're useful for multi-step advertising campaigns, multi-step, multi-platform. So that's pretty advanced, so I just leave it as data-driven. Analytics as a data hub, this is just an idea that you have all your goals in analytics, and then you just link your analytics account to your ads account. And the reason you do this is because all your other sources are also going through analytics, and since your goals there are going to count for traffic from Facebook or email or direct or referral, this is going to help with reporting, and it also provides extra information on your ads when it's going through analytics. So that's another benefit of going through analytics, but mostly it's about reporting. So you can report your PPC versus SEO. You can report your PPC versus Facebook, etc. And that's it for this setup video. In the next one, we're going to be talking about how to do landing page conversion rate optimization, the principles behind that. And I'll see you guys then. Take care.